Alright, I should be live. So, before I get pushing forward into what I was just doing in the game, I just want to make it clear that this stream is more just gonna be, as I said in the last stream, I'm not streaming my entire playthrough of this game. I did the, didn't like that I hadn't moved the controller in a minute. I started this game and I streamed the opening because I'm a big fan of the series, and I know this is one that, unless it's primarily what you do, people aren't going to be interested in. But it's a series that I do enjoy, and so I wanted to put a little bit out there for it. And now that... Hey, Richard Forrest, I'm just explaining my thoughts for what I'm going to be going forward with today. So I did the first stream, and it was kind of just... Here's the start of the game. Here's my first impressions. Here's me gushing over a franchise that I like that might not be in line with, I'd even say, a lot of people. It's kind of a niche genre and a niche series. This second stream is much later in the game. I have gone through, I have made some character connections. I actually started the stream after just doing the love confession aspect to one of the characters that I grew to enjoy in the game due to them being one of the more unique ones that I am familiar with in the Rune Factory series. So I was very happy with this character. But I'm like level 111. I'm near the end game, I think. The story is at least built up to imply that I am right there at near end game territory. And I wanted to give my thoughts, share some tricks and tips that I found playing through the game. There are some problems with this game that I do want to talk about, but, like, I'm still playing. I'm level 111. I'm still playing this game when I have just a few minutes, because, unfortunately, as I go through the week, that's kind of how it ends up working out, that I'm just able to play games. So, I'm going to push forward with the love confession scene with Ludmilla here. There is story tie-ins for. She is a succubus, but the idea of a succubus works very different in this world, or at least in her case, and they really have some fun interactions. I gotta say, one of the high points of this is the characters, but I will cover that after we get through this. Much later in the game. Oh, that's why I'm an old man all of a sudden. That's what happens to me when I'm, here I am, 30-something years old. We're at this stage in the game, we're much older. I'm more than halfway through before other players start, logging off permanently, and they're just done playing, right? That's the way the real world works. People just get bored and they just log off. I'm done. Just take me to the other side of the not digital. I don't know. So I confess to Ludmilla. Gosh, is this my reward for being a good girl?
I get
No.
it.
This is a spicy little game, isn't it? You're trying to get me all hot and bothered by embarrassing me. Now, obviously, the name Ludmilla is kind of implying what she's about, but she's got this, like, sweet underlayer to the weird lewd aspect, and then there's also a little bit of, probably more than a little bit, sometimes, and it is portrayed differently when it comes up, here and there, but a little bit of a masochist streak to it, but... Is that what it is? Where you like a little bit of punishment? I don't know, it's not a thing that I'm into in the real world, so I don't fully understand that approach to relationships. Anyways, not that I mind yeah, there you go, a bit of public humiliation. Nope, I'm serious. And that is a face. Sweet honey dreams, I couldn't ask for more. Oh, wait. Calm down. A little delayed gratification goes a long way. You gonna answer me? You're a greedy one, aren't you? My answer is no. Not right now. You're gonna have to wait. I'll give you an answer tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Seaside Hill. I need you to wait with bated breath and pine for me until then. Okay? Alright, see you tomorrow. Certainly doesn't sound like a no to me. And the only reason I opened up with this is I wanted something to play off of while I do the stream. But first things first, I want to cover a couple of tricks that I picked up going through the game. Oh, that was a little bit of a stutter. There is a frame rate issue with this game that comes up quite often, usually just upon leaving or just upon entering a new area. And one of the first things is up here, we have Studio Palmo, and in here you can buy furniture. You can also upgrade other buildings to increase what you can buy and do at these areas over time. And one of the things I found you can buy as a piece of furniture is a punching bag. And the interesting thing about these punching bags is you can strike them and you can actually increase your combat rating for different items, for whatever weapons you're using. You can even use it for certain spells as you're going. And so you can buy many. I have a square of 9. I'm actually looking to expand out a little bit more because some weapons have a higher range, and the more things you hit at once, the better it does for building up your skills. And in this case, I have the hammer, which is my most used weapon, because frankly, the hammer I have is, look at those stats, it's a little wild, plus 1650 attack. So, I'm gonna just strike a bit here. Forgive the loud noise. When you hit many things at once in this game, for some reason it plays even louder. But I'm just gonna go a few minutes here. Give it a moment. I'm just going to go until I get a rank up on the skill. It shouldn't take too long. There you go. Emphasis that as you do this, you can rank up your weapon combat skills. And so these aren't cheap, but you can do it with just one. You can start out slow, and as you progress through, just keep going. Masochist was the correct term for the record, and the only reason I'm clarifying this is because the word is spelled nothing like how it's pronounced. I'm not surprised by that. Many English words are very broken and confusing. It being louder does seem like how it would work in real life, like when you pop a ton of bubbles in bubble wrap all at once. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not how it should be. I just know that when streaming, when it suddenly just jumps up in volume like that, like, I hit one... Not that bad. I hit all 9 at once. On a stream, I'm sure it drowns me out pretty heavily. And I wanted to emphasize that little trick. And because some weapons actually have, like the lances and the dual blades can send you flying all over, I wanted to do like another 2 rows on each side, just so that I could still target a middle one and keep wailing on stuff. Just so that every swing is like maximized as to what you could be hitting at any given point in time. Just because when you're building these skills, as you can see here, they all increase like your strength and your RP. And having higher RP is great because that is used for darn near everything in this game. And I also want to tell you, this hammer I'm using has carried me through the entire game. I got this shortly after my last stream, and I want to show you guys how you can get a weapon like this. Again, if you're struggling getting through the game, if you're just kind of feeling like the progress is going a little slow, this weapon carried me through the entire game. Like I said, shortly after last stream, I got this. I am now level 111. My skills have gone varying degrees on a lot of things. I think my throwing is still really low. Resisting seals, like, things just don't get to hit me much as well. That's a thing. In here is the Blacksmith, and I was a big fan of him when I played when I did my last live stream, I got to see his character. And frankly, his interactions with other characters on the special scenes are really funny, and I'm very much like Derek. And you can actually give him... So I have a platinum sword for my short sword I use right now. That is my long sword. But if you give him weapons that you craft yourself, you can give him... At least it used to be. There was an update recently. I wonder if they patched it. If you gave him 5 of the weapons you craft yourself, he will give you a hammer. Every weapon I've gotten from him so far is a hammer, so I assume it's only hammers. Alright, was this 4 or 5? We'll find out in a minute. Alright, he will give you something in return. Sometimes they're pretty terrible. I mean, even that's not bad, but it's not great. It's certainly better than the broadsword I'm giving him. And the broadsword can be crafted with just 1 iron. And I did this a lot at one point. I just gave him a bunch of broadswords, and I got a bunch of weapons in return. And one of them I got is this crystal hammer I'm using. I actually got 3 of these crystal hammers, so I don't know how rare they're supposed to be. But they weren't so rare that I had to do it for hours in order to get one. Let's see what he gives us this time. Okay, so again, now we got a different crystal hammer, an ice hammer. And you can see the damage on that would be a gift in the very early game. Hey, Halo Master Chief, what's up? Just covering my bases on this game, getting the thoughts out that I wanted to get out. Doing the last bit on this that I really wanted to do, so that I can turn around and focus more heavily on doing the Kirby game and the Tiny Tina's game. The next stream is going to be Kirby, because it's been a while since I played that, and it was so fun and so good. And I really want to get my brother to get his hands on it, because I think his daughter would absolutely love it. But I wanted to show some of the tricks I found so far. I'm sure there's many more. So yeah, that is a great way to get a very powerful weapon early on in the game. Literally, I had nothing for armor. Things would hit me and it would hurt like heck. But because I could dish out the damage so heavily, I was actually able to run through a lot of the early game stuff, which was really useful because, and this is one of my problems with the game, the pacing in this game is admittedly really bad. It's not formulated in such a way that is beneficial to the player to being able to progress and do what they want as they want. I should go buy some breads. I need to be able to craft some more stuff. One of the biggest problems is Ludmilla, the character that I proposed to, or whatever. I think it's just a dating thing right now in the game. At the start of the stream, was or is the flower shop runner. They run the shop. And the flowers are kind of vital for a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'll take some weapon bread. Actually, I should not take weapon bread. I don't know how much I have left to forge. Should go with the cooking bread. And, yeah, a lot of early crafting stuff. The medicines you might need. Again, as I did, I got this powerful weapon, and I started kind of going through some of the walls I was coming across in terms of combat. Because some areas will have vastly different power scaling for their enemies. You'll go into an area and it's like, oh, hey, you could probably fight this thing really early game. But if you venture too far in any direction, you'll still find enemies you can fight early on and be able to handle. But then you'll find things that just look at you wrong and you drop dead. Which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, obviously, the dungeon layouts for each area are pretty well solidly level scaled for where you're going to be at to get there. The problem comes in the field exploration, and there's going to be a lot of time in the field early on because you have to get to these new places anyways. And so it's kind of funny when you come down here and you're like, oh, hey, here's a chicken I need to fight, and you can walk through it no problem, but then you go just a little bit farther. I'm literally going here to give you an example. These chickens that are going to spawn in right here, they're nothing. You just kind of whack them, they go down. Look at that, 6,000 damage for where I'm at. But you go a little bit farther, and it's like, this is pretty much the same area. These cows, like, they're also not the end of the world. And I'm not even going into a new area. There's no dividers here. I'm not going across the bridge to the next section. I'm not going up the hill to the next area. These things right here can be a pretty big challenge spike from those cows that I just fought. Ah, missed. Just hit him with that. You can see that the damage difference I'm doing is pretty massive. That's 1,000, that's 3,000. I'm doing a lot of damage, sure, but to these cows over here, I was doing 6,000. So you can see the scaling of where their defenses must be. So that's kind of a thing that rubbed me the wrong way for a while. Oh, there was another character I wanted to demonstrate for getting early game loot. Let me see if they should be up by now. Gonna fast travel here for convenience sake. This is another one of the things I picked up on, that as you give people items, some of them will give you certain things in return. A lot of characters will give you things, but some of them are less useful than others. And Richard, I know your brother was playing through this game, so if he was running into like some story wall stuff, some of these tricks might be something for him to help get through. So you can craft, again, for almost nothing, just iron, literally whatever you have available, these cheap bracelets. And you can give these to Terry, who I assume, for the context of the story, must be a master craftsman. Also, hey Halo, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I said that earlier. So yeah, as I give him these accessories that I made, eventually he will turn around and give me an accessory in return. And I actually have found that there are some glitches that can happen with this. So if I just put this item in my pocket, for whatever reason, so far there has been a 50-50 rate of it just disappearing. But if I drop it, I don't want to check the things I'm here at. I want to throw. I need to get out of his house. This guy's... he's got too much shit in here. I can't do anything. So if I step out here and I throw the item and I get it off my hands, now it becomes pretty much guaranteed real. And that sounds like a weird thing, but I would put it in my pocket like I just did, and the item would not exist. However, and this is literally what I've crafted for myself, so it's what I'm wearing right now. And I just got this for giving him 5 cheap bracelets, and you can look. That's a magic defense plus 5. That's attack plus 40 and defense plus 42. That's a big item. And you could get that right at the start of the game. I'm just pointing out some of the issues with the balancing and the rate of the way that growth can happen in this game. And trying to get these things yourself does take a while. The Rune Factory games kind of imply that that's supposed to be what happens. You're going to spend some time grinding for resources, training yourself to get better at your abilities, your crafting options. All of that's supposed to take time, but this happens in a really weird way. Getting resources, not a big problem. Getting the means to do your crafting, your items and stuff, not a big problem. But sometimes there is a weird choice the game has for when to do certain things. And I'm trying to think of the... You know what? I do have a really good example. If I go to make armor, and we look at these are based on the skill level it takes to create the items. You can see the required RP in the bottom left here. And the protector, defense, plus 123. Let me go through here. We'll start with the chainmail. 50, 30 for physical and magical defense. 68, 36. So we look here and it's the number's getting better. We go to sparkling shirt. Again, the number is just getting better. Then we hit this wind cloak. And again, I am going down in descending order for what's supposed to be challenging to make. And sure, it has a lot of resources it takes to make it, but it is still a required RP 64. Defense is 385, magical defense 320. The jump from 56 to 64 does not imply that it's a whole lot of levels higher in terms of what is needed to make it as far as your skill level. So this is a massive jump. And then we go to the protector, which is harder to make. Diamonds are a unique item. They're only going to come from a handful of locations, and the shoulder piece is a later game material. And this is terrible. Like look at the difference in the wind cloak. And the only thing I can think is all of these have flavor text. And the protector is just like, oh, equipment that prevents accidents before they happen. That's just flavor text. That's not implying a unique ability to the armor. Why is the protector so much worse than the wind cloak? It's these kind of elevation of your skills that just don't make sense to me. Now, these are just minor things that I've come with, and I want to talk about some of the good things in this game. The story is, in my opinion, not as good as Rune Factory 4, but frankly, Rune Factory 4 had a fantastic story, in my opinion, for what it was. This one had a little bit of trouble keeping my attention. I'm just going to go fight a few things in the meantime. Maybe gather up some resources, get some items. Should probably do some mining thinking about it, looking at these rocks here. That would be something I need to do. Anyways, well, oh yeah, the story. It's not bad. It's just, every so often, it just seems like I get what they're going for, and I'm just going to skip right through. There are characters that when they come into play, they're kind of the big mover and shakers on the storyboards, or maybe they're just characters you like, and you're going to be more interested in paying attention to what they have to do and say to the story. And again, this iron is not worthless. I can turn around and make these into very generic items and get some cool stuff for it. I am in one of the late game areas right now. I'm just fighting some things just to get resources. There's nothing that blows me away with the story, but it's fun. It's entertaining. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me wanting to do things. I'm not ever hitting a point in the game where it's just like, all right, well, I'm done. I don't need to play anymore. So it's a good enough story, absolutely. Oh, whoops. This is one of the downsides of my hammer, and every so often I need to switch to a different weapon just to get over the elemental damage. This does water damage. The other thing is the characters. Now, Rune Factory 4 had some fantastic characters, and it had some forgettable characters. This one, I think a lot of the characters are really fun. I wouldn't write off anybody as being... No, there's a handful of characters that are kind of easily forgettable, even in the events they take place in. The guy in charge of the Rune shop, and I'm gonna have to go back to the town just to show you what I'm talking about. He's a blonde guy, a little chubby. I'm sure I talked to him in the last stream. He's probably my least favorite character in this game. And I don't hate him. He's just boring. Something about him is just unappealing to me. But then there are other characters that, as you play through the story, you find out, oh, they're a succubus. That's unique. You got a character trait there to play off of, and there are some fun interactions with them and other characters. You have a stuck-up rules are rules elf. Really fun character. Fuka, I think, was one of the ones that broke my brain when I first ran into her. When you get to know a little bit more about who she is, what she's about, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more of a fun character. And you kind of want to do the events with her just to see what are they going to throw at you with her. That was Fuka running by right there. But a lot of the other characters, like Beatrice here, Princess. That's a unique character trait. Again, results in a lot of fun interactions. She has a knight that follows her around. She was one of my top contenders for characters to marry in the game. Yeah, the blonde guy in charge. I think it's this shop right here. I hope he's in here and that I'm not gonna just go find somebody that's not here. Oh, there's a character that's basically a god. Alright, this is the knight guy. Where is he in here? He's not in here. And it's kind of a big reveal which character it is and like why they are, how they are. And the idea that they have issues amongst their a rival in town as well. I'm trying to figure out where this guy is. Oh, I saw him. He's at the bakery. The characters are all fun. I really like them. The character interactions are the best thing for this game. Another thing that kind of bugs me is I'm running through town right here, and this is where basically everything takes place. You have the big plaza area. This I like. This area feels as populated as I'd want it to be. The locations for everything are all pretty close. You got the diner right here. You got a shop there, the medicine shop right here. A couple of houses over there for residential stuff. But some things start to get really far away. Like you have that the woodworking shop way back in the corner there, and then the blacksmith is all the way on the other side of town, even beyond where we are, beyond our farmland. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. And it's a little bit of a hassle to get to when there's not a lot of things that are entertaining. This guy. Something about him just screams... Ooh, what? That's not what I wanted. Heinz. Just screams too boring to me. I don't want to get you an aquamarine. That's not what I'm here for. But yeah, other than that, like, Rune Factory is a formula that this game delivers fairly well, and it brought it into the 3D quite effectively. I'm certainly still playing this game a lot farther in than I ever did with the new Harvest Moon games, or with the new... What's the one I'm trying to think of? Story of Seasons. That's the name change that they went for. I'm going to go catch a nap and get ready to finish off the event that I started the stream with Ludmilla. Just so we can get a little bit more character interactions and show the conversations that are sometimes funny, sometimes heartfelt, that are, like I said, the shining part in the game. So I'm going to have to wait 4 hours in game to progress on that. On a day that is also a festival. I didn't plan that very well. Is this like in preparation for New Year's? Is that what the festival is? Let me check here. Pull this up. Yeah, okay, this is going to be New Year's. Fair enough. I should have planned for that. She even told me it was New Year's when I went to talk to her. That was my mistake. But yeah, there you go. If you're playing through this game still, or if your brother's playing through this game, Richard, you got a couple of tricks to show him, little tips to get a little bit farther as he goes. I think I can walk in now. Although I shouldn't talk to her until 10 o'clock. That might be a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. I'm gonna go fight a few things until it... Oh! Yeah, this is something else I wanted to talk about. I saw these early on in the game, as well as crystals that will be out of your reach. They'll be like behind barriers or up on locations you can't get to. There's a catch system in the game for trapping monsters or even getting them to fight on your side. You can also use it when you charge it. You aim it, you get a little crosshair, and you can grab items that are out of reach with it. Pretty necessary to get some stuff. The thing that I accidentally did it when I got a crystal once. And then I was out in the field somewhere, I was fighting something, and it was purely an accident that it happened. And then I know that sometimes there's a crystal that pops in under the bridge. I think sometimes there's one that comes up over here. They're scattered throughout, and that's how you're going to be able to get them. Something worth knowing because it was purely an accident that I managed to get it in the first place. Anyways, I'm going to go break a few boxes, grab a few items. And I'm going to wrap up by getting to see if Ludmilla is willing to go out with me in the game. Although I don't see any reason why it would not end in a yes, given her reaction when I popped the question earlier. Should probably go buy a few more breads. Let's see what I learned from the breads I did buy. Got a weapon bread. I don't know if I can make... Never mind, I got a few more recipes there. Corn cereal. The recipes for cooking. Wow, I'm going to have to do some more cooking to get the new recipes. I surprisingly have very few recipes. Especially for how late in the game I am and how much cooking I have done. What else do I have to do to blow through some time while I wait? I should go talk to a few people. See what they're going to be going on with today. I think everyone's going to be going to gather in the at the main square. I also need to pay attention to where Ludmilla wanted to meet. This was some sort of beach area, was it? Ugh. This is going to be embarrassing. I don't know the names of the areas I'm trying to go to. I don't know if, because it's a holiday, if I can buy some bread. Let's see when they open. Open at 9 a.m. That's really close to when I need to go meet Ludmilla, so... Yeah, I guess in the meantime I'm going to go try to grab a few more items, go explore some areas. There is an area we've been to before, but there are like deeper locations, new locations. So I've been up here. I remembered I tried to fight like a woolly and I died. But later in, you're going to find these areas that are going to have like tier 1 locations, and then you're going to go back and you're going to unlock the tier 2. And they are slightly different each time. It's a great way to get to reuse locations, but push for a different story objective when you go back. Can you tell how hard I'm trying to stall for time just to plow through until... This is, again, not anything new to Rune Factory 5. It's been in all of the other games of this nature. When there are time-specific events, you are going to have to wait for those times in the game because there isn't a rest option. You can't just, you know, Elder Scrolls it and hit select and be like, rest for 2 hours. Then I'll meet him. Which is unfortunate. It certainly would help with moments like these. Let's go meet everyone over here. Chat it up. Anybody have anything important to say? Yeah, I know you're not going to give me the answer just yet. The Seaside Hill at 10 a.m. Well, I would assume seaside means, like, the ocean. Alright, so nothing special going on here. So Beatrice was one of the characters I really liked. Her personality is hilarious. She's a princess. She wants to be just like one of the guys, so to speak. Just fit right in, make some friends while she's here. I don't have a very clear idea why she left the castle.
You have my thanks.
But either way, she's here. And her interactions with people are great in the idea that she doesn't understand the commoner level stuff. Like, going to a restaurant is an entirely new experience for her. Interacting with people the way we do is something that they mention from time to time. Scarlet is the elf character that is stuck up on the rules. We've met Priscilla. The other one that was a big character pull was Lucy. I liked her tomboy approach. She has a lot of character when you start talking with her in some of the events. And they're kind of archetypal, you know, they are what they are, but they're fun, they work, and I like the kind of character she was portrayed to be. Now I've got to bust through these. Unfortunately, on the events, whoop, didn't mean that. On these events, they're all going to have generally the same dialogue, but talking to them will increase your friendship, and increasing your friendship is an important thing to do in this game. It's going to be how you get to see the other character interactions. There are also objectives made for talking with everybody. For example, once everybody is up to friendship level 5, I will be able to complete an objective and push forward with additional quest lines in the game over here at the board. Doing these are how I'm going to be able to buy new merchandise for farming, or unlock new abilities. There's a lot to go into that, and you're going to want to do a lot of it as quickly as possible, because it's a lot of your better end game stuff is going to be hidden behind that as kind of a barrier of entry. Man, this in-game time takes a while.
Yes.
I don't know if there's anybody else I need to go speak to, but we are almost at 9, so I can go buy some more of those recipe breads. I guess I'm going to be buying some weapon ones. I know I have nothing new for accessory crafting. I have to level that skill up a bit. And I know I don't have anything for cooking because I just tried to get some bread for that.
We have a festival today.
Alright. Festival today. Give it just a little bit of time. 9 o'clock, they should be open.
We have a festival today.
But it doesn't matter, it's a festival. They're not open to sell me bread. I really, really wish I planned out a better block of time to take care of this. Oh, hey. It looks like the event is ready to happen, even though I'm an hour ahead. I wonder if I go over there, are they going to acknowledge that? Anyways, this will give me a good place to wrap up once I finish talking with Ludmilla, wherever she is over here. And these were just my late game thoughts, you know. I'm still enjoying it. It's still very fun. It's got some problems. There are some bugs. I have one bug I need to share with you before I could progress in here. Give me a moment. I have got to show you this. This was hilarious. I went to a festival. And I was talking with everybody just to get their friendship level up. And then I find this. I don't know how this happened. And I tried to break him out of this, you know, talk to him from different angles, see if I could clip into him myself, mess it up a little bit that way. I couldn't get him out of the ground. I don't know how he wound up there, but this was hilarious. In the moment. But, that's a bug that happened, and yeah, so it's gonna have some problems, but the game is still fun enough to push forward. Have you had time to think things over? Ah, Ian, I've been waiting for you forever. Oopsies. Right, composure? You want to hear my answer to your, question, right?
Yes.
Right. I want to know if you love me too. Okay, are we getting something special? I really like, I do have to say, having the confetti during this is kind of fun. However, shall I reply? Every game has its fair share of bugs. Exactly, it wasn't anything new, and I was glad to see that the bug cleared itself up the next day. Like, he wasn't stuck below the ground level for whatever had happened. It was just for that event. Not even I know for sure. Ludmilla, that's kind of the point of this interaction here, is at this point you're supposed to have thought it out. I know it's a little sudden, so if you don't feel the same way about me, then I promise to back off. Very respectful. Don't stress out about it. I'll be fine either way. No. Please don't say you'll back off. I'll go out with you. In fact, I beg you, please be my boyfriend. On second thought, no. If I went through all of this and I had to stall for that much time and I'm just like, nah, we good. A succubus never goes back on her word. But what about you? Are you sure you want to be with a monster?
Yes, of course.
I, don't see much of a problem here, but okay. The only one for me is YOU. You said yes? Alright, so here we go. This is the way this is gonna play out. Our future is gonna be full of sugar and spice and everything nice.
How cute! Leave the rest to me. I'll teach you anything and everything you need to know about love.
Coming from a succubus, that's going to involve a lot of being involved. Now, first things first. We need to decide what cute and adorable nicknames we're going to call each other from now on. Man, I'll be honest, I'm not a nickname guy. We need to make them beautiful, something that speaks to the deep and special bond that binds us. Bonds that bind me so tightly, they make my fingertips tingle. Anyway. So, what do you want me to call you? See, and again... I could see darling, but I'm just gonna go with the same as before. I'm not a cutesy nickname guy, not my kind of thing. But I am curious what they're gonna have here. Lady Lou, Luda, Mila. Where the heck does Mila come from? Lulu, Honey, and again, same as before. I know it's boring, but any relationship I've ever been in, it's on the fly. I might say, you know, babe or honey, but that's just like, that's not Murakumo. What are you doing here? Am I triggering another event just because I'm here? Also, was gone for a bit because a friend was showing up with some things he had to bring into the house. Oh, that's pretty dope. Hopefully they brought some fun stuff for you. So we've got Murakumo out here just howling to the ocean. That's what I should be asking you. You started howling out of nowhere. Made you jump out of your skin, huh? Just figured I'd try to pump myself up. Got another special event plan? Well, yeah, but... Listen, I'm never going to give up on my dream of making my inn the best on the continent. But it feels like I've hit a dead end these days. So I wanted to try psyching myself up again. Best on the continent, huh? That's quite a dream. You think so? My folks entrusted me with an inn a while back, but I kinda ran the place into the ground. I ain't gonna fail again. You better believe that I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to make my dream come true. Murakumo is one of my favorite male characters in this game. I'm sorry. How many events am I having here? Daydreaming? Cloud watching? Just kind of hoping for a letter to come. From the sky? By balloon. Oh, but I don't actually think a balloon is going to come floating anytime soon. It's just, I've been waiting since I was little, so kind of become a habit.
Yes.
You've waited this long for a letter? Remember how I wandered off on my own and got really hurt when I was a kid? Well, someone found me while I was unconscious and carried me all the way home, or so I'm told. But by the time I woke up, my rescuer was gone. I didn't even have a chance to say thank you. I asked everybody if they knew who it was, but no one had a clue. Still, I really, really want to thank them. So I tied a little message to a balloon and released it into the sky. And now you're waiting for a reply. Yeah, but I know it probably isn't coming. That's why as soon as I'm brave enough to travel on my own, I'm gonna find my rescuer and thank them in person. Well, I guess you'd better keep practicing going out into the world by yourself. So yeah, she's got like some sort of trauma keeping her in the village that she's trying to overcome. Again, another interaction in this story that's really awesome. I started dating Murakumo in the game a couple days ago. He was a little bit annoyed at how long it was taking. Yeah, one thing for your brother to know, when they get... oh, you said they started dating, so that means he's already passed what I was going to say. You have to get up to your friendship level of like a 7. And unfortunately... If you talk to them when they're at a 7 and confess your love and it doesn't proc the first time, you have to rank that up an entirely new rank and try again. You can't keep trying day after day like you could before. At least I think you could before. So if you fail at 7, you have to hit 8 before you have a chance at another success. It's much better to save before you go to confess and then just keep reloading. So one last thing I wanted to say after this event before I wrap it up. There are some things in this game's story that is hilarious, and I'm going to cover those after this. Julian's a slowpoke, Cecil's a slowpoke. Julian, pincer attack. I gotta say, I love the character interaction between these kids. Not so much this guy, I haven't seen a lot of him in other characters' events that I particularly like. I don't like the idea that he just makes everything a detective case. That kind of bugs me. The other two are hilarious together, and their interactions are super cute and adorable, but also really funny. Don't get the wrong idea, Ian. This isn't a game. It's a serious investigation. See, that just bugs me. Something about that character type. No. You call this an investigation? Darn right. We're trying to shed light on the mystery of why kids laugh when they're running around at full speed. Really? Yeah, I mean, think about it. Do you ever see adults giggling when they sprint? If they did, it'd be kind of creepy. I don't know, I know a lot of people who have a lot of fun going out jogging. It's kind of what they do. For fun. I think they're psychopaths, but again, I go out jogging because I need to lose weight. Not for fun, but it happens. And I go with people who do it for fun. because at least it makes it tolerable. So they have fun, they laugh, they giggle. Why is that creepy, Cecil? Why are you judging people for being psychopaths? That statement came out a little wrong, but you get my point. Having fun running. But Julian and Hina run around laughing all day, and it seems perfectly normal to everyone. Isn't that super mysterious? It's called, like, the innocence of youth, man. Says the one who is laughing the most. Yeah, says you. I was trying to put myself in the mind of my subject. Biggest sin of the game. You can't date Misasagi. She is the strongest MILF energy I think any Rune Factory game has had.
Mommy?
Also, already comes with the daughter, so you don't have to go through that process in the game. You could just be like, hey, let's just skip right ahead to that point. Let's play again tomorrow. Bye for now. Well, never mind, we're not done. Julian, there you are. Mom's making dinner tonight. Let's go help her out, okay? Sure.
Well then.
Last one home's a rotten egg. Her competitive attitude I do very much like. That was one of the things that was kind of fun for her character. Again, Murakumo is just absolute bro energy. That's the kind of guy that I like hanging out with in the real world, just because they're fun characters. It's no fair, you got a head start. Something along those lines. Alright, Cecil, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? You gotta go laugh and have fun somewhere. Look, you don't need to have parents to have fun, Cecil. Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking about Mom and Dad, that's all. They're both explorers, did you know that? Frankly, that's much better than I was assuming. Up until this point, I was under the impression they may be dead. Where are they exploring now? No clue. They left on an expedition when I was really little, and they haven't come home since. I see. I'm sure they made some incredible discovery someplace nobody's ever been, and they're really busy investigating it. That's why they haven't come back yet. I'm proud of my parents for what they do. I think they're the coolest, bravest people in the world. But don't tell anyone. I really wish they'd come home and read me bedtime stories. Already has a daughter. Kind of guessed that you were... Well, some people use the world... some people use the world, too. Welcome to the world of political superpowers. No, some people use the word MILF inappropriately and just mean older lady. Sure, that can be a thing, but you're running into cougar term, not MILF. Now then, let's see what I can deduce from the situation. You just finished a delivery from Master Derek, and you're on your way back to the smithy, right? Yes, I can come home early tonight. Then I'll make your favorite fruit salad to go along with dinner. And you can pick up subtle things here and there within this, within these character interactions to figure out what characters are going to like what things in the game. Obviously, we just learned that one character really enjoys fruit salad.
See ya.
See you later, Ian. See ya, Cecil. Now, there are, and I took some screenshots of a few things. Hopefully I don't have anything embarrassing on here. That I thought were fantastic notes in the game. There are certain cultural concepts that I hold very near and dear, and I love seeing them represented in games just because, it's pushing world ideas that sure I align with, and you get a kick out of it. Never take peaceful times for granted. Remember that those who struggle and sacrifice before us made our tranquil days possible. These were for an event at some point. This was the one. This was a thing that came up that was almost entering conspiracy theory territory. And, conspiracy theories with air quotes, by the way. I'm very, very much drawing the attention to that term. But this they're implying what the evil villain is doing at some point and talking about this. And it's like, holy shit, this is so meta. This is exactly what some people are talking about the real world. Gather everybody's data and you can control the entire population's action down to the smallest detail. And so yeah, that was one of those moments that came up and I was just like, hold on, game. What are you getting at? Where are we going? Are we entering this territory? Because I'm down for going into this territory. And that is exactly where it went, and it's hilarious. And again, the story has moments that I'm just like, yo, this is great, and I'm absolutely down for everything it's throwing at me. Anyways, that was the last bit I wanted to talk about. Story great, characters great. The layout could use some work going forward in future games. I think they transitioned into the 3D era very well. If I were to talk to somebody who wanted to get into the Rune Factory games for the first time and see what it's about, my recommendation would be to get 4 on the Switch or PC on a good sale and get your feet wet in it, because that's a very strong game. It's been out for a while, and it's a cheaper barrier into entry, and it has that gameplay balance and flow down to a little bit more of an even progress point. But if somebody's familiar and they want to know if this is worth getting, I'd say yes. Like I said, even when I'm playing through here and I can point to a few things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I can still say it's enjoyable. I'm still playing it. It's very fun for me. But going forward, I'm going to be playing some Kirby in the next stream. And then after that, so tomorrow, hopefully, Kirby. And then at some point over the weekend, probably Sunday, depending on how busy Saturday is.
Here we go.
Alright, buddy. I'm wrapping up here. Calm down. It's going to be some more of the Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And I'm going to keep going forward on those because those are I am only doing on stream, with exception to grinding to get some of the things I missed in Kirby and to get extra experience to go through the story on Tiny Tina's. So thank you so much for stopping in. Richard, you have a blessed one. Halo, you as well. And at this point, this is kind of the end era of my streaming of Rune Factory 5. So now I can go through the story and I can actually finish it, push it off on the side and say, that's one off the checkbox for my list of games played. But either way, it's very enjoyable. To me and my tastes. For as oddball and scattershot as they can be. Thank you very much for stopping in. I hope to see everybody who stopped in next time. Leave a like, subscribe. You know the game. Have a blessed one. See ya.